I just wanted to show some of the chart patterns on the CLVS this morning that we can trade or watch. So this is interesting. It flagged in here this morning. We had this on our watch list. 1266 trade to 14 and a quarter and 1550. But in the pre-market, it did trade above the breakout level here, and did have, this was the entry, well, this was the breakout level on the pre-market, but I did have it as an entry level around 1250. Got down to 1254 here, 1266 wasn't it? Did I say? Yeah, 1266, and it did pull back and touch that area. So that actually was an entry opportunity on a pullback like that. But then it popped and it went through the 13. So now this is a breakout over the pre-market high, and that's an opportunity to trade it. It traded up to it at the opening, backed off, held support, popped through it. Now, if you didn't want to take that trade, you don't have to. Sometimes you take it and wait for it to come back, and it did. It came back to the 13. Now, there's two thoughts on that. You can see on this one here, I was waiting for this to have a pullback entry up, but it just powered through and went straight from 3 to 7, $4 move. So there was no pullback. So if you take the trade on this, on the initial breakout, there's more danger to it because it could come back, could be a fake out breakout and come back and go. So in this case, with the CLVS, it did pull back but held support. So that was it gave you another opportunity to trade, to enter this trade at the 13. Then it took off and it got into this rising channel, and this is the next pattern. So this is a wave 1 up, 2, wave 3, 4, and then wave 5. So there's your 5-wave move up. Or you could look at this as a 1. Yeah, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it's a 5-wave move up. Then what happens though? Then the next pattern is at the top of the channel, or sorry, at the top of the market, you get the spike up, and then the next candle, you get this big long wick, but it closes red. That's usually the sign that it's going lower, especially if the next candle is red. And sure enough, look what happened. It sold off. But now we get this big, so we get a wave 1, 2, and I'd call this a 3-wave corrective, but you could look at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down. Okay, and it came back and held support at 13. So this is another pattern. When stocks hold support, you look to buy it. And what we get then is another pattern here. This is the V bottom right-hand extension. And I just posted, I said, this is, look to take this over 1450 with a 1430 stop, with a view to trade this back to 15 and 1550. And it has held, it is on this trend line. So this is another pattern. You get this trend line. This is a wedge. It is at the apex of this wedge. Now it does need to get through this 1470 really to get going, because we are midday. So it might, you know, when you're trading midday, sometimes you don't get the moves that you're expecting. So that's just the caveat. I just wanted to show you all the different patterns that we trade that are involved in this trade today. So lots of great opportunities to benefit from the patterns that we trade on trading CLVS.